In today's video, we are going to be breaking down Anthony Edwards and his rookie season. And of course, the things that he did well and things that you can do well in your next basketball game as well. Let's get down. Let's check this out. Okay, so this first clip is of Anthony Edwards, a quick standalone attack right off of that fake screen and then a massive slam. So what does he do well here? So first he does a quick crossover towards the right side, and this player here comes up and sets a screen on that one on the right side. The defender here is Gary Trent Jr., who's a very good defensive player. He's calling out most likely screen right or screen left in this case. And after that right-handed crossover, you could see that this player does start to shade over towards this side to try and cut off of that screen. Now, when he does cross over towards that left side, what we do see is this defensive player thinking it's going to be a killer crossover, because that's generally what players will do. They'll do a quick killer crossover on this side and come back and use that screen. However, Anthony Edwards is standing straight up, and then after that crossover, he gets super low and he hops right foot, left foot first so that he can get that push off towards the left side. From there, he's able to attack that rim and just absolutely destroy anyone who tries to block his dunk. Now, this is great, amazing off-ball movement. So what we see here is the defenders are not paying attention. He cuts back door and, of course, gets rewarded with a massive slam dunk. Now, when you're standing in this location, you see that there's two players here, or even just one player. It doesn't really matter. But the defenders who are standing there are not paying attention to you. They're paying attention to the ball and the three-point shooter. Anthony Edwards here is left all alone, and he's able to capitalize by attacking the rim. As soon as one of those players moves up, the one closest to him moves up to try and defend what's happening here, thinking that this is going to be a three-point shot, but instead cuts back door and then destroys Jokic. I'm sorry, Jokic. Now, when he receives that ball, he wants to go right-left. What he's trying to do here is to go heel-toe on his right foot, plant that left foot down. I know you can't see it, but plant it down on his toes, and that's going to allow him to explode up with 2 feet. This next move on the fast break is very good. So it's essentially a 3-on-2. We have this player shading over here. This player is guarding Anthony Edwards at the point. We have a player who is wide open. Anthony Edwards here is able to do an in and out dribble, which then freezes essentially this player, thinking that Anthony Edwards is going to attack the basket, or that first in and out, maybe the idea behind that was to fake a pass over towards this side. That defender never took that fake, and because of that, Anthony Edwards was able to get that ball to that cutting player on the right side. So this is what we call a size-up move. He's able to cross a few times through his right leg to try and get this defender down onto his heels, which he was successful on doing so. At this point in time, he does a quick killer crossover, which then gets that player to take one step towards that side. After that killer crossover, he's able to attack that basket. He has his body at a 45-degree angle. After this cross, we see that he's on his toe. He's activating those calf muscles, which are fast twitch muscles, and then he's able to run on his toes. Remember, your first couple of steps should be on your toes, fast twitch muscles, and then another dribble, 1-2, and attack that rim. So after this cross, he pushes that ball really far out, one dribble. You want to cut down on how many dribbles you have to the basket, and if you're anywhere over 5'11", 6 feet tall, you should be able to do a crossover here, push the ball forward, dribble somewhere around here, take 2 steps, and you should be able to finish with at least a layup. Now, this is a very good move. He does a quick jab fake. That gets that player to move towards that right side, and then he does a second jab fake, and he knows after that first one, this player is going to then react to the second one as well. Now, this defender knows that he's too slow to guard Edwards, so he has to overcompensate by taking those quick jumps towards that side. At this time, this player defensively cannot catch up to him. He starts to overplay that side because his momentum is going to take him towards that side. Anthony Edwards knows that, and then he's able to spin off, take his 2 steps, and then he's able to finish right at the rim. This is a very good move. You can do this as well. Just a quick 2 jabs. If you know that that defender's moving, all you have to do is take 1 to 2 dribbles towards that left side. If you feel or see that defensive player overplaying you, really facing that side, then at that point you can spin off of him down the middle and you can finish. Now, if you spun off and this player was actually playing good defense to try and cut that off, you could kick it out to him for a 3. Now, anytime you're on a fast break and you're on your last 2 steps, and you've got a player in front of you, you can try to go around them by using a veer step or a euro step, whatever you want to call it. I call this more of a veer steps where he brings that ball over his head to keep it away from the defender. If he brought it across his body, that defender could take it away from him. And then, by taking his second step, he can finish around that rim. This next move is very good as well. It's him in the low post. Now, we don't get to see too much of the low post with Anthony Edwards in highlights, but what we get to see here is a quick jab dribble, gets that defender off of him, and then he's able to jump off of one leg for that shot. Now, some people saying that this may be a foul. Well, it's actually not. So, as we can see, that foot is in between that defensive player's legs. Technically, Anthony Edwards owns that land where that foot is, which means that he can, if this player is leaning on him, which he is, Anthony Edwards can push off with his shoulder. As long as his shoulder does not go past his foot, then it should not be called a foul. He's able to then take that step back, jump off of one foot. This is very hard. You need a lot of body control to do that, and he's able to make that shot. Now, if you wanted to do moves like this, you're obviously going to need a lot of leg strength, a lot of hip strength, but also you want to have a lot of core strength. That's going to allow you to get that shot off nice and stable. Now, this next is a defensive move, defensive play. Anthony Edwards is a very good defensive player as well. And here he's able to shut down Luka Doncic. So, we have Luka Doncic. He is currently trying to attack Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is playing him straight up. This is what we call straight up. And now he's able to do a quick crossover. At that point, Anthony Edwards tries to reach in. Remember, if you can have your palms up, what you can have called against you is very limited. So you can swipe through as long as you try to get low enough, and then that will disrupt that crossover. You can continue to try and swipe in, but you really want to keep your feet level on your toes. You do not want to force a player one way if you're playing him straight up. Continue to play him straight up. And that's what we see here. We continue to see him playing Luka Doncic straight up on his toes, keeping his feet ahead of Doncic. And now, that's even harder for Doncic to even score with. Now, Doncic does miss this shot, but this is extremely good defense, keeping his lead foot ahead of Doncic, directing where Doncic can go with your body and not with your feet or your hands, using your body to stay with that offensive player, and you can be a very deadly defensive player as well. I hope that this video helps you become a better player. If it does, hit that like button, subscribe. Make sure to check out all of the equipment that I use down in the description below, and I'll see you guys again next time.